Okay, 2016 NBA Finals are here. We got the teams, Golden State Warriors on one hand, Cleveland Cavaliers on another. Who's going to win? Who's got the best player? And why? And what to expect? Okay, first off, I've been wrong on a good number of predictions already, so whatever I say doesn't really matter at the end of the day. But we're just going to talk about what I think and what I've seen and what I expect. First off, Golden State. Let's start with Golden State. They are playing great basketball now. I think that, being able to win 3 straight against Oklahoma City, they're peaking, or they're getting at least back to where they were because they kind of fell off a little bit. It was good to see Steph Curry ball out like he did. It was good to see Klay Thompson ball out in Game 6 like he did. And then everybody else in between has just kind of been filling in the gaps, So their defense looks very good right now. It's going to be a very, very, very interesting game coming up here. I'm very, very excited about this. Obviously, biggest reason is the Cavs played them last year and lost, but they didn't have Kyrie or Love, and LeBron was still able to get a 2-1 on them before he ran out of gas. Same with the rest of the team. They had like a 5 to 6 man rotation. Everyone was playing like 45, 50 minutes a game. So it's going to be interesting. On Cleveland's side, they haven't really been tested. It was a good, I think losing those 2 to Toronto was awesome for them actually at this point, but I'm not convinced that had anything to do with really anything other than Cleveland not wanting to play for whatever reason, or just not giving it even 75%. When they've played and tried, they've won, and they've gotten better and better throughout these playoffs. I think their chemistry's gotten better and better, and Kyrie and Love keep getting better and better. You got to remember those two. Kyrie didn't come back until Christmas because he was hurt. He had a shattered knee, And then you look at Kevin Love, he got his arm pulled out of socket last year. So, both those guys missed the finals between the Cavs and Golden State. And it took them a while to get back into a groove. And now finally, I think, finally they hit their stride, like started the playoffs. They finally kind of started playing good team basketball. There's a lot more contribution than just LeBron, running the entire squad from everything, from starting to finishing their offense. And now other guys are starting it and finishing it. And LeBron was a lot of times a decoy, So, Cleveland's definitely, they're playing at the top of their game right now. LeBron, to me, looks like the best player in the league. He looks better than Steph even, because he's just consistently always putting up the numbers. He's always getting it, and he's not been stopped. He's not been inefficient this entire playoffs. He's just been unstoppable, and he makes the right play, and he gets his team involved, and he does whatever you need him to do. Steph has been hot or cold, or let me just say hot or lukewarm. He hasn't really been cold, but just hasn't been. He's suffered through some injuries, so that's going to throw off just your timing and everything. But he looked pretty good out there today, crossing over whoever was in his path, and then dumping threes like it was crazy. So, both teams look good. Both teams look pretty healthy. I'm sure everyone's got a few little bumps and bruises and nicks, but the Cavs are definitely 100% healthy as far as what you can really expect to be going into the playoffs. The Dubs, they're healthy other than Steph, who looks healthy, but he's probably a little hurt. His knee, obviously, he hurt his knee earlier in the playoffs. He hurt his elbow, obviously, a couple games ago when he jumped over some chairs to get a loose ball. So that could play a little bit into it, but he's still, he was the best player on the floor today. So, I mean, I think Golden State's they're about as healthy as you want to be too going into the playoffs, or going into the NBA Finals. Steph will get a couple more days here to rest and ice and just relax. And first game is going to be in OKC or in Golden State on the Golden State Warriors home turf. So they're going to be able to rest while Cleveland's going to be traveling. The keys to the game, obviously, it starts with you can't let Curry dance on guys at the top. You have to be able to D him up a certain way. You can't just stand in front of him. You have to get next to him. And you have to kind of force him one way. And you have to force him into the lane, really. You don't want him taking threes. You want him taking twos. And he's a great two-point shooter, too. But rather if he shoots twos and threes the same, then you might as well make him shoot twos. That's what I would do. I would take away the three-point shot from Golden State as much as possible. I would run them off three-pointers. Curry's the only person I would double team. I would not double team Clay. I would double team Curry. If Clay is on fire and Curry isn't, then you might want to start doubling teaming Clay. But I would double team Curry right off the bat, and I would make him pass after he comes off a pick. Every time I would make him pass. They've been a little, as a team, they haven't been as dominant from three-point land in the playoffs. And they have to do with better defense. Also might have to just do with a little bit of nerves a little bit. But the defenses make you rotate your ball faster, so it makes you have to speed up more. And I just don't think that they're going to be the same three-point team as they were during the regular season as they are in the playoffs. With the Cavs, like LeBron is one of those guys where you just don't want to try and stop. You kind of want to make LeBron beat you and shut down the rest of the team, because LeBron is he's so good at making other people better that's like his strength as well as his own ability. So it's like, shutting him down is kind of like letting him beat you offensively, because his playmaking ability is just so crazy that he's going to get his team who can shoot threes wide open shots if you try and stop him. So that's the game plan for them. The big difference is now that they got Love and they got Kyrie. And Kyrie is a machine. He can score on anybody. And if he's going off and you're having to worry about LeBron and having to worry about K-Love, it's going to make the whole game a lot easier for all three of those guys. When they're playing, like, LeBron's going to play well no matter what. That's just how you can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. That's it. You cannot stop him. Like, Curry is semi one-dimensional in that he just wants to shoot those threes. That's what he wants to do. He wants to shoot those. He's going to shoot those. He doesn't care what kind of defense you put on him. He's going to shoot threes. So, you got to run him off that three. He's not going to be nearly as effective. Another big key for Cleveland is, Love, obviously. Kevin Love playing, rebounding, getting his shots, getting looks, and being active. Just being active on the offensive and defensive boards, and actually running some plays for them. They're a small team. So I think that if you get the ball into Kevin Love on a lot of those guys, they're not going to be able to handle him. And then him just getting his three-point shot and getting those looks. LeBron's going to find him. LeBron's going to look for Kevin Love, because they know when Kevin Love plays, when he balls out, they win. Plain and simple. When Kevin Love balls, when he plays out, when he plays well, the Cavs win. So I think, he's going to be the biggest single factor for one guy. Like, what's the one guy that you need to play well? I mean, obviously, LeBron's going to play well. Kyrie is pretty much solid. And Kevin Love is solid too, but when he plays well, everyone else plays well. Because, if he's shooting, LeBron's going to keep getting in the ball. So, and then Golden State, again, the number one guy is Curry. You need Curry to be video game Curry. If he's not video game Curry, then I think Golden State can lose. and lose rather easily. Curry is just has some of the craziest games to get these W's, to get these victories. You know, like he is just a crazy player. He's a, you know, my boy calls him the cheat code because it's just cheating the way he shoots. You know, he's just such a great shooter. But it's almost like too good to be true type shooting where you're just like, really? You're not even spotting, you're not setting up at all, you're not getting square, it's just boom, 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 up, throw up a three, in, just like, you know, with a guy all up, outstretched in your face. So, you know, they're going to have to figure out how to at least slow Curry down, run him off the three, not let him take threes, and then when he does take threes, have him be in an uncomfortable position when he shoots them. That's key, you know. Let me go. Another key for Golden State. Back at Golden State, you know, you want to make sure that you don't let J.R. Smith go off, and don't let Deladova go off. Don't let Channing Frye go off. You know, these guys you want to be able to D up at the line, because if these guys start getting open looks and get hot, it's game over. They got a lot. The Cavs have a lot of guys that can shoot threes. A lot. I mean, J.R. Smith, Kevin Love, Channing Frye, Deladova, Kyrie Irving. That's 5 guys that legitimately can shoot three at a great rate. A great rate, you know. You know, Golden State, they have Steph Curry, they have Klay Thompson. You know, Draymond Green isn't, you know, that great of a three-point shooter. He's all right. I mean, Andre Iguodala, he's pretty good three-point shooter. Harrison Barnes is a pretty good three-point shooter. But I think but the thing about Golden State is it's just about Steph and Klay, really. You know, if those guys aren't hitting their threes, then I mean they're gonna get blown out. They will get blown out. But those guys don't hit their threes. Their three-point ball is just so dirty. I mean, they're the best three-point tandem easily too. Curry's the best ever, and then with Klay, they're the best tandem. So we'll see what Tyronn Lue does as far as defending that and how he's going to defend it. Like I said, I think what really helped them is how they started defending Lowry and how they started defending DeMar. They need to really they need to smother Curry. You can't let this guy get up these shots. You know, his shot, you can't let him get those up. You got to force him into the lane. You got to force him to drive. And then have some defense there. Have some defense waiting for him. And that throws off a lot of what you do. That gives other guys shots. But, you know, Steph is the one you want to limit more than anybody. You don't want Steph getting hot. So, I look forward to a very competitive series, a very up and down series. I expect each team to win. I expect each team to lose. Obviously, if each team wins, each team loses. But as far as a prediction, I'm gonna go with Cleveland, and I'm gonna go with Cleveland in 6 games. I think that the Cavs are just on a mission. I think that they're healthy and they're clicking. And again, when you have a bunch of players that can shoot the three like the Cavs do, you have LeBron, and then you have Kyrie Irving as well and Kevin Love, who are both playing at a very high level now. I just think it's going to be too much for this Golden State team. Even though this Golden State team is one of the top 3 teams I've probably ever seen through a regular season. Probably maybe top 2 teams I've seen through a regular season. It's just the Cavaliers are playing some of the best ball that I've seen through the through the regular season or through the playoffs. Other than those 2 no-shows in Toronto, they've been a pretty dirty team. They've been balling out of control, and they are well oiled. Their ball movement has been Spurs-like, in my opinion, the way they move the ball. And with LeBron, when you got a guy like LeBron who can basically fill every single hole there is, you know, it's tough to beat. You know, I mean, they really just have to stay on Kerr. They really have to stay on Curry. But other than that, I I feel like the way they move the ball, the way they shoot the three, you got to remember they shot more threes. They were shooting more threes and making more threes than Golden State was early on in the second round of the playoffs. So, a 3-point contest doesn't mean that Golden State's going to be the winner. I mean, I almost like the Cavs and their 3-point shooting better at this point. And then when you got LeBron on top of that, and Steph and Kyrie Irving, it's a lot of pressure to put on a defense. I think there's going to be a lot of open shots and a lot of open threes, and if there's not, there's going to be a lot of LeBron, Debo into the hole. So my prediction: Cavs again. Cavs in 6. I expect a very tough series. I expect a close series. But I do expect Cleveland to assert some sort of dominance. And I expect for people to see Cleveland and LeBron. LeBron is the better player over Steph, and Cleveland is the better team over Golden State Warriors. I expect those two things to be clear during the series. So, I can't wait for the first game. I can't wait. I'll definitely have a reaction ready for you guys as soon as the game's over. If you like what I've said, if you feel like I'm giving you good information, please like, subscribe. And it's just the beginning. You're going to get everything. We're going to be into a lot of different sports. But as of now, I want to thank everybody who has been, listening and watching the videos. And y'all have a good day. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.